Welcome to the lunation situation. We are going to talk about an exciting new moon in Sagittarius, the most fun-loving sign of the zodiac, the most uplifted, humoristic sign of the zodiac. So this is promising. December 12th at 23:31 in the evening GMT, this new moon occurs and adjust for your local time zone. Now, new moons are important, fresh beginnings. There's a new cycle starting. So this is where it's important to be clear on your intentions. What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? What are your desired outcomes? What are you ready to manifest? Now, as a very great, wonderful astrologer who unfortunately has passed, Jan Spiller, tells us that we receive 10 wishes every new moon. And so with this one, we get it too. And if you use the 10 new moon wishes in a way that is in line with the sign, which is Sagittarius here, that we will talk about, then the likeliness of it coming true is much higher. The idea is that a new moon is a portal, right? It's a very fruitful time because a new moon cycle is birthing, right? And in that darkness where the sun and the moon are together in the sky, which is why we don't see the moon, because the sun can't shine on it. In that darkness, just like the womb, just like fertile, ground, fertile earth, it's a place where we can plant seeds and really see them come to fruition. So it really is a portal, actually. So this new moon means a beginning of a good 6-month cycle that will come to, full circle May 23rd, when we have the full moon in Sagittarius in 2024. So between now, December 12th, and May 23rd, in these 6 months, what do you want to achieve? Now let's look at the Sagittarius topics, because that is what you need to incorporate in those wishes if you care. And the Sagittarius theme will obviously be very present because that's where the new moon is starting its cycle. I already gave you a little brief insight. It really is very much about humor, about exploring, discovery, really trying to expand your horizon. Sagittarius is the seeker and wants to gain a lot of knowledge. So Sagittarius, represented by the 9th house, is about higher education, studying, learning, just gaining a lot of wisdom. And that's also because it's ruled by Jupiter, who represents all of this as well. So generally, it is associated with long distance travel. And, you could see it as that gypsy traveling the world, the backpacker, that's Sagittarius. Just the reason is because it is expanding your knowledge, right? It is, it changes your perspective to see how other people live in other sides on this earth and other cultures, and the richness of all of them, right? All the colors and all the tastes and all the beautiful ways of living. So yeah, it is time to explore, and it is time to seek out new experiences. Sagittarius is very much about experiences. It is like, throw me into one and I will learn so much from it. And Sagittarius is also known as the philosopher. It is a big thinker. So big questions, big topics are normal to explore here. And also beliefs, you know, what do you believe in? Is it religion? Do you have your own views? But believing in something and that kind of driving your motivation is also very important for Sagittarius. As it being the third and last fire sign in the zodiac, it's obviously very passionate, very fired up, very excited, as I said, very motivated, and very goal-oriented. But not like Capricorn. It's more like, let's go and see. Let's find out. There is a carefreeness, a free spirit about Sagittarius as well. So all of this is something that you can channel into your world, channel this energy, and you know, it's a very nice energy. So, you know, you might want to add it more to your life. It's also a mutable sign, so it's flexible, adaptable, hence also why it enjoys, you know, gaining new knowledge, exploring the world, and adapting and processing all that information and all those experiences. To me, Sagittarius is also the teacher. And so it's not about just gaining knowledge for yourself. There's always that element of, I want to share this with others. And that's really important here. So what is it that you have so much knowledge about and can really help others with? So it's time to also, you know, share and share that important knowledge that is something that you have collected. You know, it's authentic and original to you. Everybody has something that is important to be heard, you know? So the teacher, the guru, the mentor, the coach, the motivator is also all Sagittarius. And, you know, in line with that, in the 9th house with Sagittarius and Jupiter rules is also publishing, you know, so not only just reading the books, but also writing the books and sharing them. So again, as you can tell, sharing knowledge and wisdom is really, really key. Because you want to guide and motivate others with the wisdom that you've gained, because it's beneficial for other people too, because they can take something from it and you can all grow together. That's why Sagittarius is also all about inspiration. So this is a time to invite that excitement, that inspirational spark into your life, and be inspired by something, you know, be excited by something, and also to do that to another. So inspire another, you know, motivate other people as well. As I said, it is that Sagittarius is that exciting, because it's a mutable sign, it can change, right? It's flexible, it's adaptable. And I love how Sagittarius can use the lightness, the uplifting of its spirit of humor to adapt itself. So, you know, this is also a beautiful moment to invite more humor into your life, to be able to laugh about things and see the funny side of it. And if you do not have a funny bone, that this is maybe something you can manifest with this new moon. We really need that lightness, the upliftment, the excitement, the inspiration, the laughter, so that we can deal with, you know, with so much going on in this world that is conflictuous and not easy, right? So we really need that almost mental stamina, or how do you say that, like mindful stamina, the uplifted spirit that Sagittarius brings us. So how can you broaden your perspective? Is there a book you can read? Is there a trip you can book and explore new sides of the world or different cultures, maybe even nearby your house? You know, can you wander around? Can you seek more freedom in your life? And how can you really enjoy this journey more? So explore, travel, discover. Now, faith is an important topic, and, you know, I explained it to you earlier as beliefs. But having faith is that upliftment that you need, right? And so what do you have faith in is something you can explore during this time, to have a, you know, a clearer view on what you believe in, because that faith element and that belief element not only is really important for manifestation, but just overall experience of life. It's really important to know what that is for you. You know, what do you have faith in? What do you believe in? And maybe you can adjust that with new information coming in or new experiences that change your perspective. To me, Sagittarius is very much about that perspective, you know, looking at it from a bit of a higher view, and you know, all these experiences and knowledge that Sagittarius has gained, the upliftment, the excitement, is all a way to adjust to new perspectives, to changing perspectives, and really sometimes even changing your own perspective on how you view something changes the entire experience. And that is, to me, very, very Sagittarius, but also very important. So some relate to Sagittarius as being the truth seeker. You'll hear that word a lot, that Sagittarius is about truth, wanting to find out the truth. And of course, I think in the context of this, where Sagittarius can be very much about religion and faith and beliefs, right? It is a subjective truth in a way, to me, because it is the sign of philosophy. So it's not where you find hardcore truth. It's not like the scientific truth where maybe Aquarius is more about. But this is about your truth. What is your truth? That is something that's time to be determined. And as I said, that's why it influences what you believe, what you have faith in. That's your truth. You know, you decide what that is for you. And that has just so much influence on your life. And it's not dogmatic. This is not where you become fundamental in your idea or that truth. Like, we do not hold on to it necessarily. We are adaptable, just like the Sagittarius energy, to go with the flow when something changes, and we can adapt into a new truth, a new perspective, you know? So there is that pitfall of Sagittarius that you could hold on to, but this is my truth, and this is the truth, and it just does not work like that. Not here. This is where we are more in line with the truth, but it's the beginning of it. It's the beginning of it, because the mastery comes in the zodiac cycle, I believe, after that, which is, it's the beginning, it's the last four. So this is the fire sign starting that truth seeking, and then comes Capricorn, and then comes Aquarius, and then comes Pisces to fully wrap that up, you know. That's how you can view you know, how that works in sort of like the evolution side of astrology. So I think that's pretty clear on what Sagittarius is. That was pretty long. So let's look at the chart, because this new moon is making 3 important aspects that we should talk about. First of all, it makes a trine, which is really positive, really nice aspect to the North Node in Aries, meaning it also makes a sextile to the South Node in Libra. And it also makes a square to Neptune, which is a hard, difficult angle. And it is part of a yod, which is really interesting because that is a divine message. Now, looking at the first aspect that I mentioned, which is the trine, which is really flow, energy, easy access, sort of a harmonious, inspirational energy between the North Node in Aries, obviously a fire sign, and then the new moon in Sagittarius, a fire sign. So we are fired up. We are excited to do something new, to have new goals, to take leadership, to explore and really tap into that excitement, as I said, to really have a lot of inspiration and motivation. So this is really exciting energy, and that's all great. And it also means that it's processing in the same, simultaneously processing the South Node in Libra, which is, I think it's the humor aspect, to be able to let go of that relationship issues, you know, laugh about the stuff that didn't work out, you know, because laughter is the medicine, right? And with Sagittarius, here it is the medicine. So it's time to laugh about all those experiences that didn't work out and like see the funny side of it, you know? Yeah, it seems that that is the message. Okay, and then it's squaring Neptune. Now, that is a bit difficult. Okay. Here, Neptune is direct. So, Neptune is the planet of illusions, delusions, lies, deceit, unclarity, possibly addictions, procrastination, which ties back to the Sagittarius, because the problem with Sagittarius is that it can be so excited and so interested in many, many things that it's a bit scattered in its energy. It's harder to finish something. So with this hard angle, this conflictuous relationship between this new moon and Neptune would tell me that we would also feel very escapistic, like running away from the reality and running away from responsibilities and, you know, kind of wanting to live in la la land. And, you know, that new word delulu. Delulu is this aspect, okay? So that's difficult. There is an illusionary aspect to this new moon. So it might be hard to be like, might be very hard to be on the truth page, okay? So you might think that you found some kind of wisdom or truth, but you might have been deceived and lied to or misled, you know? So this is not where you hold on to the dogma, but it probably is how it works like that. So, you know, this is an aspect where people will say, this is my belief, this is what I believe in, this is the truth. And it's only one version, it's only one view, right? So there could be a lot of challenges here in different views, religious conflicts, okay? And also on the news and with our information, it might be very tricky discovering the reality of things. And this might be a time where you might really ask yourself, like, what the bleep is going on, you know, and you will not kind of receive the answer to that. So a lot of fanaticism can bubble up. And just be very mindful and discerning with your information. Well, I had to switch the light on because, oh, early winter days, right? It's dark early. The aspect to Neptune, it's just very difficult. Do not run away from your responsibilities. Explore the world, but, you know, explore ideas and visions and knowledge, but just be careful with the information stream, or be careful with just being you might be out of touch with reality in a way, okay? But what do I always say? A square is a demand for attention, right? So if you flip it around and look at it positively, then maybe here Neptune is saying an invitation to incorporate faith, your beliefs, your imagination in a more serious way, and broaden your horizon with sort of a divine connection, okay? So Neptune would almost here say that you do not necessarily have to travel the entire world or read the whole library. I want you to gain the knowledge, excitement, upliftment, the adventurous side, the you know, expanding your horizon part through the connection you have with the divine, through unconditional love, and through more intuitive powers, okay? So I guess Neptune wants us to do it differently, but this can lead to experiences in, you know, the outside world, on our news, that is very difficult, that is seemingly based on religious fundamentalism, or situations where we just do not understand and we do not have the right information on whatever is occurring. But the new moon in Sagittarius is also part of a yod, and the yod is seen as the finger of God, okay? So there is always a sextile part, which is the part that works best together, where we need to invest and put effort into the two energies. Now, on one side of that sextile, we have this new moon. And on the other side, we have the South Node in Libra. So there is, what I said, it needs to be put in some effort into what needs to go in relationship patterns that wasn't working. And this on a collective level is also more diplomacy in solving conflicts, okay? And ultimately it is finding some kind of a balance in yourself, and where we might see that a little bit in the collective, in the sense that there might be more diplomatic conversations between like countries and stuff. But personally, this is where release a lot of self-esteem issues and, you know, blockages in relationships, not being able to relate to another, or not being able to fully be yourself in a relationship, or adapting, or sort of like, how do you say that? It's about discovering more of your own needs in a relationship. And the yod points to Uranus retrograde at 19 degrees and 55 minutes, or let's say 20 degrees of Taurus. So that the divine point is telling us that there is a really important thing we need to notice about this Uranus energy. Now, what is that? There is, to me, a similarity between Uranian energy and Sagittarius. Well, first of all, they are sextiling in energy, okay? Aquarius and Sagittarius are sextiling energy, so they work together well. And both are about freedom. Both are sort of about discovery, whereas Aquarius, or in this case Uranus, is about discovering your unique self and you know, what you bring to the table, versus Sagittarius kind of, I guess, starting that journey of who are you, what do you believe in, what is your perspective, how do you want to kind of change the world through your teachings and through your messages. Even though it's a quincunx to this Uranus, I think that the new moon in Sagittarius is very much in line with the Uranus energy. The Libra normally is a quincunx that's really tough, but because it's the South Node in Libra, it means that the message is to move away from sort of the toxic aspects of Libra, which is, you know, lower expressions of not fully knowing who you are because you give away so much to others. You're so much about pleasing and like trying to keep the harmony that eventually you don't really know what your needs are. And that's something Uranus does not want. That's something that the Sagittarius energy does not want. So the yod, the mystical, magical finger of the divine, is telling us that it's time to embrace your unique self and to bring it down on earth, okay? Incorporate it into your reality. Kind of fight for your freedom. Explore nature, what's natural. And the question here combined is, what do you love? What uplifts you? And what matters to you? And throw those answers into a mix. They're pretty related, I think. And that's what you get as an answer to the yod for you personally, okay? The ruler of this lunation is Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And similarly, it's all about exploration, knowledge, and all of that. It is also very expansive. Jupiter makes everything bigger. It has a tendency to exaggerate. But similarly, it's very excited and very uplifting, very positive, and also about humor like Sagittarius. So the most important aspect that Jupiter is making, which rules this lunation, so we need to look at it, that's opposite Venus, okay, in Scorpio. So Venus is not comfortable in Scorpio because the home of Venus is in Taurus, which is the opposite side. So she's uncomfortable. It's very intense in Scorpio. It's very deep, very intimate, a lot, you know, where Venus can be slightly superficial maybe. But Scorpio will really drag her down to the depth and the dark. and, you know, face a lot of the pain and the fears that that can be represented by the Venus energy. So that could be about money, that could be about relationships, that could be about self-love, and even about your style and how you look and all that, okay? Your aesthetics, your aesthetic taste in things as well. So it's going under a metamorphosis, a change, a transformation. So Jupiter being on the opposite side is like, could exaggerate the pain that Venus or you is undergoing. So could bring more drama to potentially relationships, financial issues, and self-esteem patterns that are very deep in the psyche, very deep in the subconscious mind. Okay, so self-love issues that could really become dramatic and exaggerated by Jupiter. Jupiter being in Taurus, there's also here two things. One, I feel that there is a potential exaggeration in spending. So, you know, spending too much money, or, as I said, financial issues. So watch that. But also wanting to maybe overdo things, you know, overeat, overindulge, overdo. So keep yourself in check with that. You know, this is, I feel, the not eating too much cake aspect. And we are almost in Christmas season, so watch your calories. Because really, Jupiter in such an opposition can really overdo and overindulge. But there's also a need to find the balance between pleasure and joy and excitement about, you know, your body, your life, the sweet tastes of life, and also the depth and the dark and the pain. You know, there needs to be a balance, says this opposition. So don't be dragged into any form of extreme, and try to be excited, find joy in the tastes, the smells, the enjoyment of life, but just don't overdo it. And there is that pitfall here. Last but not least, in this opposition of Venus and Jupiter, we have Mercury being helpful, bringing in information, thoughts, ideas of how to deal with the overindulgence or the overdoing part of this aspect. And what's really interesting about Mercury is that it goes retrograde the day after this new moon. So December 13th, Mercury starts at retrograde, which takes like 3 weeks. So it means that we start 2024 with a retrograding Mercury, and it means that it starts at retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and it moves back to 22 degrees of Sagittarius in 2024. Which is very near this new moon, by the way. So it means that the coming 3 weeks from this new moon, so after this new moon, the 3 weeks after this new moon is where you will evaluate whatever has been going on during this new moon. That could mean that you evaluate the goals that you set, the manifestations that you're desiring, and to really go over the goals, motivations, ambitions you have, okay? And it will be a very adjusting energy. But of course, Mercury retrogrades are a time where we are not able to fully know the details we lack information, we lack clarity. We could experience problems with travel, so be really diligent with your details, write them down, check them over and over if you're traveling. And, you know, be careful with communications, you know, choose your words carefully. Before you send an email or a text, make sure that, you know, you've written something that you're okay with and you can deal with the consequences. You know, just be wary of any form of communication, anything regarding electronic devices, travel, mobility. Yeah, so this is not the best time to buy your Christmas gifts, especially not electronic gifts, okay? So do that before December 13. Other than that, yeah, I think new moon in Sagittarius is the upliftment that we need. So happy new moon wishing, and I'll see you in the next lunation, the last lunation of 2023, and that is the full moon in the Crab. I wanted to remind you that with the approaching holiday season, it is a wonderful time to support your local business, small businesses, and one of them is mine. So, you know, if you want to support me, I made a beautiful course talking about what you can expect for 2024, what the major energies are. And the course is worth a lot, okay? The course is worth at least 100 euros. But I made the price point low so that everybody can join. So it's only 24 euros. And I'd love to have you with us. There are already people joining, and you can do the course in your own time. You just receive the link to the videos, and it's up to you when and how you want to do it. And it's a wonderful way to track it, to, you know, write it down in your calendar. And so then you'll know what you can do with the energies, what you can expect from the energies. And so you can sort of transform them into your own benefit. So here I leave you with a little trailer of my astrology course for 2024, and I'd love to have you on board. So if you want to join, look below this video to see the details of the email address that you can write to me. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. So I've created 8 insightful videos on all that's occurring in 2024 astrologically. This is a trailer of what you can expect in the course. Eclipses are very exciting times. Neptune and anything related to the Pisces sign. Not only is 29 degrees a critical degree, and it means that a cycle is completed. We experience the last breakdown of these Capricornian systems. Pluto will make it a bit of a brutal and rough awakening, but we will all be shaken, awoke, and we will all see the darker aspects of everything, but especially technology, and perhaps the darker side of humanity, or what has been done to humanity. Find ways of honoring these energies in a more frequent manner, ideally in a daily practice, where you start to become more in tune with yourself. So fire signs energy is very important, meaning it's a very passionate year and also a very heated year probably.